Keyword status effects to consider and their weaknesses by me. My word is not fact within this video. While the aim is to be as informational as possible, you have to consider that I am under the bias regarding the main status effects in Limbus, considering my first full-on team was Bleed, and my main team is still Bleed. I consider Bleed to be the best. You might not, and that's completely okay to be wrong. This will be done by basis of in-game viability and not mirror dungeon. And remember, I can be wrong. Just don't be an asshole when you're correcting me. Tremor. This keyword for team building is one of the best. I consider it to be the second best for building teams in the game. Tremor in of itself is a status effect that basically allows you to play Runa, as you can do stagger damage with this effect. Tremor supports plenty of different types of Tremor that allow it to work with all kinds of team compositions. The main weakness I find to be of Tremor is its interactions with enemies that don't have many stagger thresholds / high health, as getting to the point of a stagger and dealing high damage is the point of this status, so that can weaken its effectiveness. Thankfully, Tremor has some of the best IDs in the game to make up for that. Some Tremor IDs to consider. Sinking. Sinking is one of the most respectable status effects in Limbus. It serves two unique functions: SP damage to targets with sanity, and gloom damage to targets with no sanity. This is a double-edged sword, as it means when it comes to the status effect, you are purely reliant on gloom damage, which quite a number of abnormalities and late-game enemies are actually resistant to. However, the ID's usage of sinking on a target, like gaining coin power, doing +% base damage, and Echoes of the Mana are giving units without SP a -10% chance to flip heads, which is very unique. I feel make up for that factor. Some singing IDs to consider. Poise. Poise is weird. It's not the strongest, but it's nowhere near weak either. The point of Poise is to build up potency for a percentage chance to critically hit and count for the amount of times you can do the former. The main weakness of this keyword effect is that to maintain it throughout more difficult fights, all of your identities have to be up to high 4 to keep up their count, which is a major investment. I think Poise is good, not the best, but it has some of my favorite identities in the game and meshes well with the other status effects. Some Poise IDs to consider. Burn, one of Limbus's most prominently dickroad status effects, and for good reason. Burn produces one of the easiest status effects to maintain in the entire game. So many IDs offer you count / potency that in difficult encounters you will easily get up to 99 potency, but that's also another issue. Burn is very easily shrugged off by enemies with large health bars, though the IDs make up for this downside as they have special interactions regarding enemies who have certain burn potency and thresholds, more damage / triggering burn. Definitely a status effect to consider if you're new to the game. Also, for extra points, it has Fire Fist Gregor. Some burn IDs to consider. Hey Fire Fist Gregor! Rupture. Rupture is one of the best status effects in the game. You don't need me to tell you this. The only downsides I can give this keyword effect is that it requires careful managing to get the most out of it, since most skills that apply positive count of Rupture usually don't clash well, and not being as effective against large groups of enemies / bosses with multiple parts. However, the IDs that Rupture is tied to are so fucking broken, so much so I think Rupture is less of a status effect and more of a cool number you see on screen, while Lord of Hongyuan Honglu just decapitates a gnome. Also, Rupture doesn't have the good of sustainability that the other key effects have, just mostly purely offense. Some Rupture IDs to consider. All of Season 6. Well, basically all of Season 6. Bleed. Okay, but seriously, Bleed is the best status effect to team build. Creating a fixed damage value on enemy coin rolls, unless if it counter or defense, is huge for chunking out enemies, especially if how much bleed IDs maintain that count very easily. With the proper team setup, you can get over 16 count per turn. That is 16 coin rolls doing your potency damage. That is very significant. punishing enemies for even thinking of attacking you, storing some of the best support IDs in the game, and overall having some of the best passes for team building. Bleed's major kneecap, though, is its reliance on having IDs of the same faction, specifically La Mancha land, to realize some of the most vital IDs to their full potential. Those IDs, however, not only make up for this, but actively have proven to be effective even without those synergies. See Manager Dawn. Her skill 2 is still good even without Barbarotis, so Barbarotis is kind of cosmetic in that team. Some Bleed IDs to consider. I'm gonna be honest, Kurokumo IDs that I put here are just fill-ins, but except for Ishmael because she triggers Bleed, which is very good. Charge. I have rewrote this section like 4 times. Charge is a status effect that could be good, but mostly hasn't been utilized well. It's the potential man of keyword effects. It's very easy to manage / maintain the advantage state of charge, but the cash outs of charge, especially of how long you have to spend building it up throughout the duration of a fight, is one of the more risky approaches to playing this game. It's not a bad status effect whatsoever. It's just the worst one. I think the status effect needs a major power spike, and W Corp Heathcliff is 100% a step in the right direction for it. Some charge IDs to consider. Discard. Mom said we had to bring our little brother. Some discard IDs to consider. Thanks for watching. I hope this presentation allowed you insight to all types of status effects / status you personally do not utilize within Limbus Company. I recently finally built a team for every status effect and really enjoy experimenting with them on major bosses / mirror dungeon. Bleed on top, bleed the best.